Well, I'm Captain Johnny Starling, working the West Valley office here at Woodland Hills, and we cover the areas all the way through the canyons, and we've, like, as the Senator has mentioned, you might not be aware of how well we work together already. We were very close with Lost Hills Sheriff Station, we have a long-term history with them, working well with all the different incidents, whether it's the planning for evacuations in the canyons. We already have a long history that most of you probably aren't aware of, sort of how we work together, and then working with the state parks, again, they're a state partner as well, and with the federal parks. I think what this meeting can give you, again, like Senator Stern says, to get a public showing of how we're working together already. And High Patrol, we are committed to giving safety, service, and security to all the people of California, and we're here to provide service to as much as we can to our allied partners, our safety partners, and that's what we're here for today. We are committed to this working group. We've been working together already, but we are committed to continue to expand however we can and help the citizen as well as assist our safety partners. Thank you.
Thank you, Captain. Lieutenant Royal, did you want to come up and say a few words yourself?
Actually, I'd like to do my presentation from here when you're ready.
Please, you're up.
Okay.
Good afternoon. Can you hear me? Yes. Okay. Thank you for coming. My name is James Royal. I'm a detective lieutenant at Lost Hills Sheriff Station, and I'm here today with Lieutenant Rodney Moore from the Homicide Bureau sitting next to me. On behalf of the LA County Sheriff's Department, I'd like to thank you for all coming here today for this very important public safety event. I want to assure you that the Sheriff's Department and all of our public safety partners take your concerns very seriously, and we've been working very closely together to address them. Our primary objective today is to share with you as much information as possible without jeopardizing our case. I'm sure you understand. There will be some areas that we will not be discussing, but I will give you as many facts as I can to help quell any rumors and to give you the information that you deserve. And with that, what I'd like to do first is discuss the exact dates of the actual shooting events, confirmed shooting events that we've been dealing with since November 3rd of 2016 and culminating on June 22nd of 2018 with the tragic death of Mr. Bodette. I will then discuss some events that have occurred after June 22nd of 2018, and I will refer to those as reports of shots fired only, and they may or may not be related, but it is an important distinction. I will then hand it off to Lieutenant Moore, who will discuss the two bodies that were discovered in recent months in the area, and he will discuss the possibility of, he will discuss whether Homicide Bureau believes they're related to these events or not, and he'll give you what details he can. I will then touch generally on our robust communication and response protocols that we've had in place for over this period of time, and we'll continue to have them in place, but I also won't be sharing details of any tactics, any investigative details that might jeopardize apprehending a suspect or suspects. And lastly, I want to solicit your help in helping solve this case. If you think you have relevant information, we need that information, and we need you to pass it to us, and I'll share a phone number with you. With that, let me get started. The series of events that we'll be speaking about today started November 3rd of 2016, and as I said, culminated on June 22nd of 2018. On November 3rd, 2016, in Tapia Park, which is a state park property, a person was camping in a hammock, as some of you have read, and he was struck by gunfire in his arm. On November 9th, 2016, in Malibu Creek State Park campsite, the person was asleep in their vehicle when that vehicle was struck by gunfire, and the occupant was not injured. On January 7th of 2017, a male and a female were asleep in their vehicle when they were struck by gunfire and not injured as well. After January 7th of 2017, there was a large gap until June 8th of 2017 when a vehicle traveling on Malibu Canyon Road was struck by gunfire and the occupant was not injured. On July 22nd of 2017, two persons were driving on Malibu Canyon Road and their vehicle was struck by gunfire. They were uninjured. On July 31st of 2017, there was a report of gunfire in Malibu Creek State Park that was not confirmed to be, nobody was injured, no vehicles were struck, and it was never confirmed whether it was actually gunfire. After the July 31st report of gunfire, there was an approximate 10 to 11 month gap until June 18th of 2018, when a person driving on Malibu Canyon in their vehicle alone the vehicle was struck by gunfire. That person was not injured. 4 days later, on June 22nd, 2018, was the tragedy that took Mr. Bodette's life. Since June 22nd, 2018, we've had what we'll refer to as reports of shots fired. We've had 9 reports of shots fired, and I want to make a very important distinction on this matter. These are exactly what I'm referring to them as. They are reports of shots fired only. They are not necessarily related, however they may be. And in at least 2 of the cases, one was determined to be a backfire and another was determined to be a transformer that exploded. I will give you the dates of those, and if you have additional ones you could contact that aren't on this list, please contact us with those. July 9th of 2018, in the Crater Oak Coal Canyon area. These are where the calls came from, not necessarily where the gunfire or possible gunfire or backfire or whatever it may have been originating. July 9th, 2018, Crater Oak and Coal Canyon. July 12th, 2018, Las Virgenes and Piuma Road area. July 22nd, 2018, Mulholland and Coal Creek area. July 25th, Coal Canyon Road. August 5th, Whitmore and Coal Canyon Road. August 9th, the person was driving in the afternoon, had just exited the freeway at Las Virgenes and was heading southbound on Las Virgenes Road when his rear windshield exploded and he thought that it may have been gunfire. It was later determined after 2 thorough investigations that it was likely heat related on an older car. On August 11th, that was the transformer incident in the Montnito area that was reported as possible gunfire. And in yesterday, we had 2 calls, one in the Malibu Lake area, which the informant later said was possibly car backfire, and then one this morning, and I don't have the exact details on that. It was one caller saying they possibly heard gunfire. So I want everyone to understand the distinction, because I've read in the local media that we've had several more shootings after June 22nd, and please refer to those as reports of shots fired. They may or may not be related. I know many of you have heard about the 2 bodies that were discovered in the area over the last several months, one May 16 and one July 27. And the one on May 16th was near the Hindu temple, and July 27th was at the top of Piuma Road. And I will defer to Lieutenant Moore regarding those 2 incidents and whether they may or may not be related to the other events.
Thank you. Thank
Is
you
there a
guys.
pattern to when these incidents occurred?
At this time, the format is that we're going to do a presentation, and then we'll be happy to take questions at the end in a format that Senator Stern already developed. So thank you for the question, and we're happy to answer questions at the end to the extent it doesn't jeopardize the investigation, but we would appreciate it if we could present these facts and then have an informed discussion based on those facts. Thank you.
Good afternoon. Thank you for coming out. My name is Rodney Moore. I'm a lieutenant with the Los Angeles County Sheriff's Department's Homicide Bureau. We are currently investigating several homicides which have occurred in the area. Of course, the one that's already been mentioned of Mr. Baudet. Also, there were 2 additional homicides which occurred in the area. The first was July 27th, 2018. A male Hispanic adult was located on the 24,000 block of Puma Road. At this time, we believe that that homicide was not related to the death of Mr. Baudet. The theory behind the murder on Puma Road is it was a gang-related event. We do not believe that Mr. Baudet's homicide was a gang-related event. It is true that we do not have a known theory or definitive answer for the theory for the murder of Mr. Baudet or a known suspect. However, we are working and we're leaning in the direction of certain theories, and that does not include a gang-style type homicide. The murder that occurred on May the 16th, 2018, we also believe that that was a gang-related event. A body of a male Hispanic adult was located on La Tejada Road. Those investigations are ongoing. I can't give too much specific information regarding those incidents. However, we do not believe that they are related to the murder of Mr. Baudet.
Thank you, Rodney. I want to touch now on, well, first I want to make a comment about the series of events that I just outlined for you. I want to assure you that since they started, they've been thoroughly investigated in a cooperative manner with all the local agencies, and although they're not confirmed to be connected, we have treated them as if they may be, and we have put a tremendous amount of resources, without going into detail, on determining what the cause of those crimes were, and we continue to do that. And I really want to reassure you that that this investigation did not start on June 22nd. However, we still cannot confirm that the series of events are related forensically. And I want to talk about our efforts for response protocol for potential future events. I cannot go into any detail, but I will tell you that, again, a tremendous amount of resources, a tremendous amount of thought, and a tremendous amount of expertise has gone into how to best deal with the possibility of future events. And I wish I could share more with you, but you can be certain that a lot of us on this stage and a lot of us working on this case are very experienced, and we have protocols in place to ensure that we do our level best to respond, investigate, and solve these crimes. Lastly, I'd like to solicit your help and give you a phone number that all of you can call if you have any information that you feel is relevant. That phone number is 323-890-5500. And I strongly encourage you to trust your instinct when you're thinking, if you see something that doesn't feel right,